All right, we're getting back here. We're coming back here. Everybody's coming back on. Bear with us. All right, we figured it out. You just got to rejoin again. I got everybody on video. I don't know why. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, just tell them to join again. Everybody's popping back in there. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. You think it was my first webinar in like 7 years, right? Anyway, what's weird is I closed it and I went over there and I adjusted the setting, but it didn't have nowhere for me to actually join back in, so I had to shut it down. But Ron and Huascar are getting back on. There is Huascar right there. Gus is here. We got Steve back on. Okay, we're filling the room back up, so just give us another minute. We'll wait for Mr. Ron Pope to get on here, and then we'll go ahead. What's going on, Huascar? Huascar, just so you know, guys, the dedication of our CEO, he's got family in town. He's got a baby coming. He has not slept in 3 weeks. He's in the process of meeting some family, coming out of the airport, and in the middle of all this, he's coming to say hello and welcome and give us some exciting updates. So
thank you. Hello, everyone. Good night. Thank you, Justin.
Good. Glad you can join us tonight, sir.
Glad to be here, guys.
We got a few more people we're popping on here. Ron should be getting on here. There's Mr. Ron Pope.
Hey, guys.
Hey, listen, technology.
Absolutely. Huascar, it looks like you're muted up there, my friend.
He's on. Right before you popped on, he just came on video. He's in his car. He said hello real quick. I told him we'd be bringing him on here in just a few minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
So
he's muted. It looks like the webinar just updated. Just want to make sure that he can. Huascar, can you unmute yourself? I just want to make sure you can. Are you able to unmute?
I am. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're good then.
We're good, man. There was a little setting on there that was hidden that said something about don't allow video, and I'm like, no, we got to see Faith's face.
I like the color.
The hair. I love the hair. All right.
Absolutely. If you put her and I together, it's like rainbow candy. Look at that, blue and pink.
You're a bunch of chiclets. All right, so I'll bring anybody else over that pops on last minute, guys. First of all, welcome. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule. We're very excited that we have this opportunity today. Very excited about just, what has come about in a very short amount of time. I mean, Ron reminded me yesterday that it was only a week ago that we did our first call. And so we're literally a week in, and we're seeing really some amazing numbers. So thank you for taking the time out of your schedule. Don't want to hold it up too long. I just want to tell you something, guys. When I got presented, when Ron called me, in fact, we had a call regarding the Conversion Pros, something I've been using for since the beginning, and we had a call about the Conversion Pros. And during that call, Ron says, "Hey, you're involved in crypto, right? You do some Bitcoin stuff." And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, I got to introduce you. I got to introduce you to a couple of good friends of mine that are, doing some amazing things in the Bitcoin space." I said, "Okay." We got on a call. This was Monday or Tuesday. Put me on a call. In fact, he put Luigi and I on a call with Huascar, and they started to introduce this, talk to us a little bit about this business. And I can tell right away, the transparency, the integrity, the honesty, the humility from Waskar. Now, listen, for those of you that don't know, I've known Ron now about five or 6 years, closer to 6. We worked on a business together that grew very rapidly, but the company never delivered. We worked on that business for 18 months. We had a large organization, and unfortunately, the company could not deliver. Now, I know everybody on this call has probably been in a situation where you've spent time building something, putting your heart and your soul into building an organization where the company maybe didn't deliver. We're gonna talk a little bit tonight about why that's different here. In fact, we're gonna let Waskar talk a little bit about the vision and his roadmap for the company. But that being said, Ron and I stayed in touch. We became good friends. We've met several times since then in person. And Ron is somebody that I consider to be a very trustworthy, very creditable person. And so when Ron calls me and says, hey, you got to look at something, you know, I don't start asking a million questions. I don't start criticizing or anything like that. It's like, okay, what do you got? Like, let's look at it. And again, I for those of you that know, most of us on here are building Cloud Token, and we're having a very amazing run with it right now. I mean, it's changing lives. In fact, I just got off another call tonight where a gentleman was able to walk away from a 15-year corporate job, 15 years, because of what he's been able to accumulate over in the other business. And so we're looking at ways to really leverage that and compound what we're doing over there. And this, you know, Luigi said it to me today. He said, listen, Cloud Token is trading crypto for us. These guys are trading pairs. I mean, it's crypto and fiat. It's a great marriage. So anyway, we had a call. We jumped in, and so tonight is really our first team call. I believe everybody that's on here, and there's a lot of people that just messaged me in the last 15 minutes that I won't be able to make it. I hope it's being recorded. Yes, it's being recorded. Everybody that's on here has either signed up and taken a package or is in the process of moving some crypto around to take a package. Guys, the team has exploded in the last 5 days. I mean, exploded. And so wanted to get this call together. One, so that all of you guys had an opportunity to meet Waskar and get to know him from this point moving forward on a personal and a business type level, so you can see what we see, and then really give you some really exciting updates. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and that's my part. I'm going to hand it over to Ron. Ron's going to talk a little bit about him and his background, about how this really has become. And then you guys are going to get to hear from Mr. Lopez. Ron, the floor is all yours, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Justin. Guys, just a little bit of a change of schedule here just due to time issues. Waskar Lopez and I, we've known each other for several years now. The reason that, you know, like Justin was saying, when you find a good person, you know, you bring them in as part of your team. You hang on to them. All right. Waskar actually worked for. I'm getting some background here. If somebody can mute up. Waskar actually worked for a company that I was building, a travel company a while back. And, you know, he was doing okay then. I mean, it was not well, okay. I'll just put it out there because he said I could. He wasn't doing very good at the time. All right. Small apartment, broken Honda, things like that. You know, I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have been through those trenches. But what I noticed about him was, you know, he was going through the fire to build his dream. He didn't care what it took. All right. Like, one thing he did care about was his team. He understood leadership, and his morals and values kept him on track. And that was something I really gravitated towards. I've walked away from a lot of projects that, you know, I don't see eye to eye with, be it the board or the president or whatever. I used to go in and take over corporations and then rehab them and then turn them back to the board when they're profitable. And I learned you got a lot of bad leadership out there in these companies. And so when I started developing my own corporations and things, I looked for good people. And like I say, it was the morals and values that Waskar leads his life by. When I spent a few weeks out in the Dominican Republic with him, I was able to see the first night there, we had about 700 people show up to a meeting. They said, can we do it again? I said, last minute notice. Okay, Waskar, do you think you guys can pull this off? He said, yeah, we can pull it off. Next night, we had busloads of people coming in. We exceeded 800 people the second night. But what I got out of that was most of them knew him personally. and he welcomed them with hugs, and he thanked them for being there. But it was the leadership that stood out. It was the way that they respected him and the way that he respected them. And he and I developed a relationship for helping other people over the years. And so when he brought this to me and he said, Ron, and guys, trust me, Waskar is doing extremely well in Bitcoin, extremely well. Okay. We're not talking seven figures. I mean, just keep going up in the zeros there. He's done extremely well. No longer old apartments and broken cars. I mean, you're talking private jets and big houses. So, and he's, but his morals and values haven't changed. Money doesn't change who you are. It amplifies who you already were. All right. And so I knew where his heart was. And so when I watched his growth and where he was going, and he came to me and he said, hey, I want your help on this. I want the conversion pros to come forward and build software for this, because you and I can go and help so many people globally. Guys, what you already have your hands on here with Cash Forex Group is nowhere close to what Waskar is working on, nowhere close to what he and his team are working on. All right? It's just a small fraction of what's coming. These returns, all these things that you guys are that you've seen and that you're starting to see is just the tip of the iceberg. So, but the reason I'm here tonight, the reason all of you guys are here tonight is because a good friend of mine, Waskar Lopez, called me and said, hey, I want your help in developing something that we can literally help millions of people with. And guys, you're going to see that over time. You're going to see that in the very immediate future. He's full transparent, doesn't lie, doesn't cheat, doesn't hide things. All right. And that's something I really respect about him. But Waskar is also the type of guy that makes major sacrifices. And tonight, guys, he's coming here to this first team call because I asked him to. But his family is sitting in a restaurant right now waiting for him, have been waiting for the last half an hour, because he's leaving tomorrow morning to head to the States for several weeks. So he's got a going away dinner that he's putting off right now. I was going to bring him out later in the call, but I'm actually going to do it right now. So I want to introduce everybody to my good friend, Waskar Lopez. And Waskar, if you could come out, say hi to everybody, and talk to us about, is this a short-term or a long-term company? Because I feel a lot of companies today, they're put in place for today. They're not thinking about that legacy. They're not thinking about, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. What are you building this company for? Short-term, long-term? What's your vision? What's your mission? I'm throwing it all at you. You take the floor, talk as long as you can, and thank you so much for being here, Waskar.
Yes, sir.
Wow, powerful words, powerful the speech that, Ron. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for to be here, to have me. And as Ron said, we are smashed. We are so tired that I don't know when I'm going to sleep. Like, I'm literally sleeping 3 hours, 2.5 hours a day. But I am really, really happy and excited for what is coming and for what we're building here. Thank you, Luigi. Thank you, everyone. Sorry, can you hear me well? I don't hear
Yeah,
myself.
we can hear you good, brother.
All right. So basically, this has been a really good ride. I have to say that the trust and the friendship that I have with Mr. Ron Pope has brought you all of you here, and I am really grateful and respectful for his friendship. And it's really good to be able to say that from for a person. So basically, we all come together to build something in these years. I'm being very blessed with the cryptos, and in my life, I came from really from scratch, and hard work and dedication is what I have every year. So right now we have this vision about this company with the interest to help people. We brought together a really unique compensation plan, and God put let's say a gold mine in our hands. And everything about this project is not about money. You get to a certain point that money is irrelevant when you want something else. when you want to help people, when you want to achieve a vision. I wanted to share a little bit. Like Aaron said, I have like 10, 12 people waiting, sitting there in the restaurant. I need to get up at 5 a.m. to go to the airport. But I feel so happy because I'm sharing something that I'm really passionate about, and something that we were looking for so many years. We work for companies. Everyone here work really hard for achieve their goals and dreams, to make money, to get your families better. But right now, what I'm about to tell you guys is that I think we're gonna change the world. I'm really sure that we're gonna change not only the MLM industry, but we're gonna change a lot of things. Um, it looks like it's a cocky attitude, or I don't know if whatever you may think, but I'm very humble saying this, and I'm very proud to say this because what we have in the trading area, what we have from our trading group is unbelievable. For new companies that start attracting people, paying really high rates, and what they do is paying a high rate at the beginning to attract people, and then they lower the compensation plan. They change the structure of their compensation plan. We're doing backwards. We're doing like differently. We start paying a really good rate that is 1% or more than 1%. The first week on this business we pay um, above 6%. This week we're heading to pay above 10%. But what we have in the trading area is something that I didn't have a clue to trading in Forex is beyond words. Um, Next week, I'm throwing everything at you right now, really, really fast because I have to get going. But next week, we're gonna host a light event with my partner that is gonna be with the traders, and we are going to open the screen for everyone here and from the whole world to see the algorithm and the strategy that we have, that we came up. So you're gonna see operation open in blue over and over and over and over. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Forex trading, but Forex trading is extremely difficult. You got commission as soon as you open a trade, and every trade opens in red. Every trade is in red. So this guy is wondering, why is that a trade open always in red? Why is that? And I never saw people, I mean traders, working together to come up with a strategy. Because what I saw is the ego of every trader knows everything, and every traders have their own strategy. Okay, so we have very talented people, brilliant people, but humble people that I never imagined that if I look, and I'm not judging the person, but for real, if I look the traders that we have now, I never imagined that we're gonna have what we have right now. So I'm not trying um, to impress you. I'm trying to communicate you that you're joining this company right now in the first week. This is the second week. So you can understand what is the vision and what we are right now. It's not where we're heading. It's when we are right now is in a place when you can take advantage of a huge opportunity that will make things really, really better for your family and for everything, for everybody you know. So for traders, everyone looking for an individual indicator that come up with a strategy that it can open every trade in blue. That is something that if you say something to a really famous trader, probably that trader gonna say, "Oh, these guys are talking, something that is not real." But at this time, what I can assure you is this company is building a ground for a product that is gonna be unique. That is our academy. Our academy is gonna have top traders teaching you know a strategy. It's gonna teach you how to trade yourself and how to come up with your own strategy, and it's gonna teach you how to operate in forex trading. That's our main goal. I'm gonna lay out this, and I'm gonna say that we are really, really advanced incorporating our academy in the Minister of Education in Panama, where our offices is gonna be. We're preparing a really, really nice offices for everyone that wants to, visit us, and we're gonna have the academy there. So basically, we are putting together a compensation plan that is really transparent, a compensation plan that really pays you 120% of everything. Basically, because we started this business building uh, ourselves. We put together in a position to build, not to sitting down there with using the money of the company. No, we are building, and we are putting a vision to create an example. So basically, we are network marketing, doing network marketing since 10 years back. Like Ron said, and I'm not ashamed to say I was like really not doing so good, but I keep going. And in 2015, I had a break with Bitcoin, and I started being involved with the blockchain technology. And I started to learn, and I started to work with blockchain technology. So that put me in a position to make thousands and thousands of Bitcoin and take advantage of this revolution that is happening in the past 2 years. Um, I am really blessed to have to have this opportunity to build with you guys hand to hand, event by event, and to come up with this unique concept that is gonna differentiate. It's gonna be apart from companies that sadly leave us without nothing, in a couple of months. So we are gonna build a business where in one day or when the time comes, we can close the registration links, and the community or the whole network with hundreds of thousands of people or millions of people are gonna be able to keep earning money, being wealth, and the whole ecosystem will maintain itself. We're gonna be able to say, let's open our registration link for 1 hour, you know, and let everybody in again. So this is part of the vision that we have, because we have something really, really, really special and unique on the trading strategy. That what you see there on the PDF that we are gonna pay up to 15% a week is a hell of a lot of money for 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 anybody. Paying 1% a day is a lot of money. But you know what, guys? This is what we want to create. We want to create a wave of prosperity to the whole world. And we want to help people. So I hope to see you guys soon. I'm going to be in the States for the next 3 months. I'm for sure I'm gonna be uh, here to answer questions with Justin and with Luigi and Ron that I really, really appreciate. And this past few days, almost 2 weeks that know them, I am really impact the quality of people, of person they are, the great leaders they are, the trust, how much they care for their people. So I'm this is the kind of energy that we want to attract to our lives. I keep receiving um, a lot of text messages from people that I didn't hear from them since a couple of years back, and they are like texting me to my private number and say, "Hey, I saw a webinar with these guys, and I didn't knew it was you. Congratulations! I love you, man. I want to, I want to know more. This is, I trust you. Let's keep it going." And those kind of messages that make you feel really, really good about what we're doing here. So thank you for this opportunity. Like Ron said, I like to be just like that, transparent, to be open to mix with everyone and to help everyone. With the Conversions Pro system, with the software company, with our traders, with so many talented people in our team, in our company, I think we're going to impact many, many lives, and we're going to make a huge difference in the industry. So thank you very much, Justin, you guys, for being here. Keep it up. Congratulations, actually, for your growth this week, because you doubled up the whole company in 1 week. So it's really, really amazing the job that you're doing, guys. And I'm really impressed. And I know for sure this is only the beginning. I really know that. So have a good night, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming on, man. All right, guys. Ron, go ahead and let us know what we're going to talk about next here, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I kind of rushed into it there with Huascar because I knew he was very limited time. I talked to him right before the call here, and we had hoped he'd be able to have just a little bit more time with you guys here tonight. But once he gets over here to Florida, he's going to have some more time next week to be spending with everybody. So we'll get better Q&A directly from him as well. We'll do our best tonight here to answer all your questions and things. I want to touch on a few of the things that he's talked about. I do have the opportunity to have a lot of inside scoop on this because of the fact that it is my company developing the software, developing the comp plan, and the fact that he's a good friend of mine. So, I've got a lot of things that I know about the company. All I can do is wink and say, wow, because there's some things that still can't be disclosed. There's certain things that are still going into place. He touched on some of that about with the Minister of Education, getting their educational course actually accredited and backed by the government of Panama. And so that's in the process right now. So that's amazing. Justin and I were talking the other day about some documentation for the company. I'll jump right into that while I'm touching on it. There's several bullet points and things here that I want to cover with you guys, but Justin and I were talking about documentation for the company the other day. Once the educational course is fully licensed in Panama, which is almost completed, at that point, then the documentation will be released for what name it's incorporated under, everything like that. Until then, we don't want a bunch of people calling Panama or competitors or people who just really don't like you for whatever reason. Yeah. You never know why, but we don't want them causing problems until the educational course is secure and in place. Okay, so all of that, again, guys, this is a full transparent company, and the transparency will be released as quickly as it can be.
Makes sense.
Right? Yeah. So anyways, just wanted to touch on that there. Transparency, while I'm touching on transparency, my gosh, guys, a live event coming up here where we're going to get to watch the trading happen. That's pretty incredible. I mean, most of the Forex deals that have collapsed was because they weren't trading. All right. And you're going to get to watch the trading happen. So it should be pretty exciting.
On top of that, I know that they're putting together, and he's told us this twice now on 2 different calls, developing that web TV. We're actually going to be able to see in the back office live trades.
Yep.
So that's coming. I mean, we're really in a pre-launch. I mean, that was pretty exciting what he said, guys. I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but our team doubled the size of the company in the last week.
Yeah. It's again, the company launched a week and a half ago, right? But we're outpacing everybody. You take all the other teams that are out there, all the other people that have known about it for several months, and right here, our team is outpacing all of it. Yeah. So I would venture to say, well, I know what the numbers are. I can't share all that with you, but I can say we were 90% of the growth in the last 24 hours. So good job, guys. Good job. Okay, so let's see, transparency. Yeah, so you know what, guys? I'm a former trader myself. I still trade options, dabble in the forex market. Not as much as I used to when I developed my bot several years ago, or had the bot developed. But what I can say is that you're probably not going to go and watch web TV all the time. It's something you'll watch when you need to fall asleep, but it's there, you know, like you can tell someone, hey, I saw it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I watched paint dry, but hey, you can see it, you know, so there it is. It's one more thing for transparency, and it's going to be great. You know, that's one of those first impression, introduction, or hey, anytime you're feeling like you need to see what's going on, go check it out. You know, it's going to be one of those check the box things for you. Sustainable ecosystem. He did touch on that. Okay. A sustainable ecosystem. I don't want to go too deep into that with you guys, but the overall vision is because I was talking to Waskar about, you know, long-term. This is something I talked to him about before I even accepted the project. All right. Because when I build something, I got people that still work for me, you know, 19, 20 years ago that are still on my team. They're still here. All right. I'm looking for long-term stuff. I build the conversion pros for long-term. All right. I built, you know, a biotech company. I've sold the biotech company. It's still in existence. It's going to last. It's going to be 20 years. You know, I was just helping on an expansion with it today. I look for projects that aren't here today and gone tomorrow. I did that. All right. I took people into them. I was part of the No Friends Left Club before I finally, when it clicked and I finally went, wow, okay, I know what I'm doing. I put tools in place. And before I knew it, I had 252,000 people in 49 countries under me. Okay. You hit that point where you realize, you know, that there's a different way to do things. And that's where our marketing system and stuff is going to come in. Justin's doing great with it right now. He's been using it since we opened the doors back in 2016, beginning of 2016, into 2015. I think you were even in like November, December of 2015, but with the conversion pros. But anyways, we've got a whole marketing system that we're putting together there to right now. I mean, it's crazy. You guys mention it to anybody. And you know what I'm doing? I'm sending out that webinar that we did, that 50-minute webinar. Yep. I send that out along with the PowerPoint, the English PowerPoint, yep, and the website. That's it. And then I get a follow. I don't follow up. I get a follow up to me going, hey, that was amazing. Yep. I talked to a guy at my country club. Oh my gosh, must have been. Oh, I was still looking at the project, so about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and I was there last night. And Aaron came over, and he's the top guy, top sales guy there at the country club. And he come over and he said, hey, what'd you end up doing with that crypto deal? And I said, well, we took it on. We're building the software out for it, and I'm introducing people to it. Well, could you introduce me to it? He said, I'd really be interested in getting involved. And so I sent him some information over last night after I talked to him. And he called me back today. He said, I've been through that webinar several times. And he goes, man, I have to put some money in on this deal. Yeah. And he said, hey, do you mind if I go ahead and refer a few people? Hey, whatever, do what you need to do, you know? So that's kind of what's happening here. It's crazy. So you guys just got to get the information and put it out there. We are collaborating with Cash FX Group corporate. Okay. So we will get, which Justin is going to have some collaboration. Luigi will have some collaboration. You guys do a great job, Justin, with your funnels. So we're going to take that. I'm going to put my team behind it. I've got guys that we brought over from Microsoft Gaming, from Google, Amazon, AWeber, GetResponse. I mean, I got a team of about 50 guys that are going to be working on this. And ad copy experts, all of it. You know, we work with a lot of celebrities and things, and with that division of my company. So we'll have the opportunity to utilize that same team to put something just incredible in place here to really leverage your guys' time. So sustainable ecosystem, what that means is basically at some point, okay, again, going back to the sustainable thing, at some point, what is his goal? Is his goal to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger? Or, you know, do you shut it down at some point? What do you do? And so he said, you know, we don't really have any plans of closing the doors. He said, but we could. Yeah. And I said, well, what does that do? Okay. And the only reason I'm bringing this up right now, this is down the road, a long ways down the road, guys. Okay. But if he ever closes the doors, but I said, what is it? So talk about that for me for a moment here. What happens if you close the doors? What happens to everybody that we brought in? He said, it's sustainable. You see, every time that you guys make a withdrawal, 20% of that goes back in the comp plan. All right. So it feeds that comp plan. So once you hit a certain point, you have your trades going on. All right. And everybody here should be upgrading. Use your profits, upgrade. Now there's one little spot there when you get to the 30,000 point. If you're not referring, which I know everybody here is referring, but if you ever have anybody who's just a bear, which I'll explain what bears are. Okay, it's not the term you guys are thinking. But if you have someone who's just a bear, just wants to be a lazy investor, all right, then they might have to wait 2 cycles. So maybe they have their 30,000, they get their profit back from that, they rebuy, or they can upgrade it anytime during that point. But if they're not referring, they only get 2x. Okay, they don't get the 4x. And I'm not talking Forex, F-O-R-E-X, 4 times your return of your package. Okay, so if all they do is put money in, because we're gonna have people that do that. If all they do is put money in, they can make 2 times their package. So if you're trying to work your way up to the $100,000 level, and you're not referring anybody in, which, guys, when I built my bot, okay, I wasn't working with network marketers at the time. I wasn't working with people who understood the industry. I was working with just traditional investors. And within 30 days of saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and start trading now openly, we had $10 million in our hand. Now, they wanted to get some kind of compensation, but then it goes back to, you got SEC laws, you've got securities laws that, you're not supposed to necessarily pay a commission on monies brought into trade. And that's the beautiful thing about, having the educational package here. We get paid on the educational package. Guys, we make 0 on the trading of somebody else's money. Okay, so we get it on the package and we get it on the withdrawal fees. Okay, that's all fully compliant. That's okay to do. So now we have a way to compensate those people. And so you guys are going to see, if you haven't put it out there yet, you're going to see what's going to happen. But once you start making money, which if you've been in for more than 72 hours, you guys are already getting your daily trading pool. And if you've referred anybody, you see your fast chart and so on and so forth. But at some point, should they ever close the doors or choose to, for whatever reason, we would be in that ecosystem where you have your trades going on and you can work your way on up to 100,000. And then you got all those withdrawal fees going back in. So it becomes fully sustainable is my point, okay? Worst case scenario, somebody comes in and they work their way up to the 100,000 mark and they only get to double their money every 60 days, which I want to say one thing, okay? This system, and the reason Waskar has spent so much time out there in Panama, I gotta say this carefully, has so much more potential than what they have it tuned to right now.
Right.
Okay, like market anticipation type stuff. So being able to do better than 15% a week, easily better than when Waskar first told it to me, he said, hey, we're going to tune this down for the public, but we're able to double our money almost monthly. He said without any real risk. So by tuning it backwards, because they say, oh, we don't want to take risk with other people's money though. And he said, no, that's why we're tuning it backwards. Okay, so this is a tuned down system right now, guys. Will he tune it back up? I'll let him tell you that. So it's got it there, and it's incredible the win rate at that. So talked about sustainable ecosystems. Let's see. He said one thing. Okay, he said money. This isn't about the money. I have a little bit different vision on that because I have ventured in the direction of ministries and things over my life, and it's not for the love of money, all right? But money is a big factor here because if we're going to change the world, it takes money. I'm sorry, it does. Okay, whether that be fiat money or crypto, I don't care what it is that you're using. It takes some kind of it takes some kind of currency. It takes some kind of asset backing you to really affect things. All right. If we were all broke, if we're all sitting here, we're absolutely broke, we've got nothing, and we say, hey, we're going to change the world. There's ways to do that. But can you guys still, I'm getting a connection issue.
Breaking up just a little bit, but you're there.
Okay. All right. Vegas is having some internet right now where I'm at. So I apologize if I cut in and out. But the more money we can team, the more influence we can have, the more changes we can make. So in my viewpoint, at my church, we do a lot of things, like at Christmas time, my family, we host other families that can't afford things. We sponsor other families that can't afford gifts for their kids. We spend a lot of money during the month of November, December, making sure other families have that. Right now, we got back to school going on. All right, so we left the church on we usually go Saturday night, sometimes Sundays, but we left the church on Saturday. They were talking about, hey, kids are going back to school. We're looking for supplies, backpacks, things like that. we went out and bought a whole carload of I can't think of anyways, it's a bunch of backpacks that are real popular right now, you know? And so we went and bought a whole bunch of them and took them to the church. I like doing things like that. If I didn't have money, I couldn't do those types of things. I could help people. I could donate my time and things, but this really is, to me, it's about money. So we use the money to influence markets, to influence countries and things. I've had the opportunity to consult with different countries about their lower class, upper class, but missing that middle class. Dominican Republic was one of them. We were helping create an industry, medical tourism and stuff when I was there. So change the world. You know, he said, we're going to change the world. If you guys are sitting there going, well, yeah, I've heard that before, but let's look at it. Individuals over history have actually changed the world. Okay. Several times. Henry Ford, 1896, built his first car. It came off of a dream. All right. Every change comes from a dream, and then you put action to that dream. In 1899, he manufactured his first vehicle in Detroit. All right. And now today, a lot of people might be looking at that and going, it's fine. It's fine. It's kind of like saying the USD is fine. It's not fine. Okay. Because the government keeps spending more into existence, creating unlawful taxation through inflation. Mm-hmm. That's not okay to do. So crypto in itself is changing the world. Now there's segments within that where we can get heavily involved, like you guys are doing right now with your cloud token, and like we're getting ready to do here with Cash FX. So, you know, we went from Henry Ford to several other manufacturers to Elon Musk in 2003. He co-founded Tesla with a mission to accelerate the world's transition over to a sustainable energy source. How many people thought that was crazy? Mm-hmm. All right. I'm gonna throw one out there. All right. In 2006, Justin, tell me this. What year did Bitcoin launch?
2009.
2009. In 2006, I was sitting at a Super Bowl party. I'm not proud of this. Okay. I'm not proud of this. It's one of those that I should have thrown some money at. But in 2006, I was sitting at a Super Bowl party in Hayden Lake, Idaho. We lived in a small gated community right off the lake. And my next door neighbor was a former San Diego Charger. He was my training partner. I was doing full-time bodybuilding at the time. And he had a Super Bowl party. Our new neighbor who had just finished his house came to the party. I knew John had just sold his investment company in California. I knew he had some knowledge there. But I've had a lot of good advisors and I've had a lot of bad advisors. And the last one I'm going to take advice from is somebody at a Super Bowl party who showed up that had already been drinking. And I don't hold that against him that he was already having fun. But when he came over to me and said, hey, he heard me talking about, you guys might be able to reflect on this, the Iraqi dinar. I was talking about the Iraqi dinar. And John said, oh, you don't want to do that. You want to do this. He starts mapping it out. He's talking about this new currency that has not even been out there, that's going to create a brand new industry. Okay? It's going to create this brand new industry. And he wanted me to invest in it. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. It was the programming team guys that originally created Bitcoin.
There you go.
And it was my investment would have been just right around a penny to 2 pennies per coin. All right. I didn't do it. I was taking really good money home.
You bought the denari.
I didn't do that one either because I had been hearing enough about the Iraqi dinar. I didn't put any money there. I was traveling at the time. I was 4 to 6 months a year outside the country. I had offices in 5 states. I had over 3,500 sales reps working for my mortgage and investment company at the time. And I was busy. You know, we were looking at buying real estate and stuff. And so I didn't put enough on what this guy at this party was telling me. And so I found, when we left Idaho, I found this note that says, put $5,000 on this crypto. Okay. And I didn't do it. I saw it several years later. I called John up. I said, hey, did you ever do that? He said, yeah, I did. And I said, how'd you do with it? He said, I sold out too soon. I said, oh, you did. So you didn't make much either. He said, I made $60 million, but I sold out way too soon. That investment at that time, I just had this talk with my son last night about Cash FX. I can't recreate this time in my life. I can't recreate this for you guys. I can't recreate it for my kids and my wife, no matter how much I love them. I cannot recreate this no more than I could recreate that day in 2006 when I passed up buying into Bitcoin at pennies. Okay. At the peak of Bitcoin, that would have been worth about $9.9 billion. I can't recreate that time. Well, all I can do is when my wife came to me and said, hey, I'm hearing about all this stuff, about the Bitcoin, all of our friends around us right now, I have the opportunity and the pleasure, guys, to roll with some very high-end people in the crypto industry. Some of my very close friends, Waskar being one of them. Another one out of Malaysia. Okay, I know that KK Tan, you're on here tonight. He's out in your neck of the woods. Gene is his name, good friend of mine. And as a matter of fact, he was just here in Vegas staying with me for a little bit and introduced me to some amazing people. Gene was another one that was a lot like Waskar. Wasn't doing great, back when he was working for us, running the Asian market. Today, his net worth is topped over $200 million. He introduced me to another individual over at the Aria. I went to pick Gene up there, and he introduced me to another guy by the name of Joe. Not going to drop last names here. You guys might know Joe. Joe is very large in the industry, ran one of the largest crypto mining companies out there. Today, Joe, 7 years ago, was broke. Today, he's building a 13,000 square foot mansion in Oxnard, California. He's got a 15-car garage with all limited edition Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Why do I say that? Because Joe is making changes in life. Joe is worth over $500 million today. All right. If he hadn't have jumped on it at that time, if he hadn't have shared it with certain individuals who had told him, don't bring me anything else. I met these folks. I hang out with these folks. They told me the story. I've been to Phoenix several times and to some of their events because we're picking up that software contract as well. And they tell me these stories. I told Joe no 4 times. And today I'm glad I didn't, because today my family has no more financial worries whatsoever. And I know there's a lot of people on the phone here that are in that situation, with your guys' cloud token and stuff. And that is absolutely amazing. And congratulations to your guys' success on that. This is a way to start multiplying what you've been building. Mm-hmm. And so all I can say is I can't recreate this time for any of us. Do not let it pass you by. And little things, little dreams, I shouldn't say little dreams, big dreams and individuals can change the world. So we have the opportunity to be on this ride with Waskar. A little bit about my background. I'll keep moving here as quick as I can, Justin. A little bit about my background. I met my wife in high school. And the reason this is our first call here together, a lot of people know me, a lot of people don't. Okay. So I just want to tell you a little bit about who I am. And then I'll move into a couple more things. We'll get into comp plan and things like that. I met my wife in high school 27 years ago. We have enjoyed 25 years in marriage. I have 3 kids, 19, 21, and 23. 2 of them, my older 2, work for our software company, the Conversion Pros. The youngest one is starting college and heading towards law school. So, but I have the opportunity to have my kids. We have a fairly large home, and I have the opportunity to still have my kids at home with me so that I can influence them. I can teach them about trading. I can teach them about good opportunity and bad. All right. Because that to me is very important. I have the opportunity to continue to impose in their life morals and values, because there's one thing that I will not do. I've walked away from projects that have offered me in excess of $1 million a year. But if the morals and values of that company are not in line with mine, I will never be unequally yoked. Okay. And I have walked away from those projects. And I only say that because there's reasons I'm here. And it's because of the morals and values and the connections and things that I have with Waskar. I understand where he's coming from. I understand where his company is going. All right. So came out of high school, went right into the U.S. Air Force. I'm a former vet. I was in during the Desert Shield, just after Desert Storm. Spent 4 years in the Air Force. Actually really enjoyed the Air Force. It was a lot of fun. I don't think that I would necessarily be one to go back in. It's for some people, it's not for me. Okay. I got a brother-in-law that's retiring from or actually just retired from the Navy this year. Got a lot of family that runs in our lineage to go into the military. I did my time, and I was proud to serve my country. We came out of the Air Force, or I came out of the Air Force. We moved back to Oregon. I went in the mortgage industry at that time. I took that as far as I could possibly go with it. I had an opportunity to see some early retirement at 30 years old. I had a lot of good people around me. I say early retirement. I had offices in 5 states. I was working 1 day a week, making multiple 6 figures a month. So it was a great opportunity. I understand that. I understand the investment industry. And it was through my investment company that we developed the bot. So when Waskar came to me and said, hey, I want to talk to you about the Forex industry. We have a bot that's doing incredibly well. My bot was doing between 8 to 13% a week. Okay, so I have no problem with his 10 to 15, 20, 30% a week. I know it's possible. I know he's doing it. Okay, you guys are going to see that very soon through the transparency. It was about, over the course of my career, I've taken over, multiple corporations globally, and had the opportunity to rehab them, turn it back over to the board. I realized that that's not something I wanted to continue to do, because once I turn it back to the board, it's up to them whether they want to keep it going forward. And I found myself literally investing years of my life into something that wasn't lasting. So another thing I look for, I need a project that's going to last. Okay, I need to know that when I put my time in today, same as all of you guys, I'm going to get leverage, and it's going to be here for a while. It needs to last for years. We've got that here. And then it was a few years ago, 4 years ago, that we finally kicked off the Conversion Pros. One of my partners came to me looking for tools. He was not a partner at the time. Came to me looking for tools and said, hey, do you have this, this, and this? He was actually one of the top producers for a company I was running at the time, which was a travel company. And I said, yeah, I've got all of that. What do you need? He goes, well, I need all of it. And he goes, now I understand how you're building your downlines. I said, yeah, I just put the system in place. He said, why don't you offer that to the public? Okay. And I see a lot of names on the call here tonight that are actually with the Conversion Pros. And I thank you guys for your business too. That was just right at 4 years ago. That software, the Conversion Pros, took about 16 years and over $10 million to develop. We got over 13 million lines of code in place. So I'm building that to last as well. By marrying these two things together, the Conversion Pros with Cash FX Group, I think that this is an absolute home run. It's a home run even without the Conversion Pros, but you tie those two together, any single person that you guys are thinking about right now, you could put the funnel system into their hands and literally help them blow up their finances. So, I mean, if somebody said, I only have $300, that's fine. Get involved. Just get involved, though, and start working your way through it. Let's see.
Jump in real quick, just for the sake of time, because we are running about an hour now.
Yep.
Close. Just for the sake of time, if we could maybe open up a quick Q&A and see what specific questions, because if we can answer the questions on the call, great. If there are questions specifically that we have to get over to Huascar, we can always come back with. So is that okay with you, Ron?
Give me 2 more bullet points, and then yes, about 5 minutes, and then we'll go right into it. Because I know these are questions that have been coming up, and I want to get those addressed before we go into opening the lines up. Okay, so updates from the Conversion Pro side of what's going on with Cash FX. Okay, you and I were talking about that earlier, Justin. Guys, when we got introduced into this project, there was another programming company that wasn't able to do the job. Okay, so we came into the project just a little bit late. We accepted this project. It's typically 6 to 8 weeks to get it done. We accepted this project about 3.5 weeks ago. Okay, but we got them up, we got them running, we hit the target date. We continue to develop. So anything that you guys might be seeing, anything that your people, your prospects might be seeing, if there's any kind of delays other than the blockchain, okay. Anyways, if there's anything like that, bring it back to Justin. Any kind of bug you see, anything like that, bring it back to Justin. We'll get it taken care of. But my top programmers are working on this project every single day. We're working 7 days a week.
Support is live right now, so if you do have any kind of an issue and you want to just go right in the back office and put in a support ticket, it'll get addressed immediately.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I would not say immediately, but within 24 hours. Yeah.
I mean, yep, same day basically, 24 hours.
Yep.
So use the support system if you have an issue.
Yeah, I'm actually putting 2 more support reps on that. I don't know if you knew that, Justin.
Nope.
Conversion Pros is helping on that. So yeah, I'm putting 2 more reps on that tomorrow. So if you've been waiting for a ticket to be responded to, again, we're getting through the development as quick as we can, and your tickets will be addressed here. So if you put a ticket in the last few days that hasn't been responded to yet, it will be, okay? Update. So yeah, that's basically what we're doing. We're finishing up all of the comp plan stuff. We're finishing up the matrix right now. All right. Cause matrix run, I believe, is this weekend. Finishing up, we just actually, Justin, this was something your team requested, was making the address optional. Okay. Some of you guys don't want, people knowing where you're at. I get it. So to stay in line with what you guys are doing over at Cloud Token, address is now optional. both at the time of or when you go to pick your package. Okay, so you don't have to put your address in. Pick a country. I don't care which one you say it is. Just pick a country. It shows up on your map, so it shows where your team is building out. But address is optional. Country, I believe, is still mandatory. Mm-hmm. The other change that we just made was referral links. Okay, so that was one of the development things. On your dashboard, your referral link was showing up at the time that you registered before you ever bought your package, which meant that if anybody that you sent your link out to before buying your package could have gotten in before you, but luckily that was not the case. We found one case like that. We fixed it, swept the system, and everything's in line. We have since pulled down that referral link both from your profile page as well as your dashboard. Okay, so don't worry about bringing people in that might send out that link before they get upgraded. It's not even possible now. They're locked right onto the pick your package page, upgrade, and at that point they go in the matrix, they go into the, and then they can start sending their referral link out. The other thing, let's see, enhancements, lots of enhancements happening right now because everything's being developed. You'll see some different terms being changed around, things like that. We're making it as user-friendly as we can. Marketing system, that's something that I will probably have my team put together a funnel before we build out the custom marketing system for CashFX itself. Okay, in the future, there will be a custom marketing system with a approval system. So if you guys want to create your own content or whatever, it'll go into the compliance approval system because guys, I mean, come on, we're involved in an industry that, especially here in the United States, is heavily regulated, and so we need to make sure that we protect the company at all costs. And so that's where the compliance thing is going to come in. So you create something, our system's going to recognize CashFX, CashFX Group, whatever it is you're putting in your marketing. It'll stick it right into the compliance side, and then once compliance clicks approve on it, then it can go ahead and be used. We'll also collaborate on marketing material that will be able to be sent out. You guys will have the opportunity to opt in with your social networks. As soon as they hit approve, it sends it out to all your social networks, fully passive to you guys as well. Or you'll have the other option, like I say, of having the content put in your back office, and then you can start sharing it after approval. In the meantime, we're looking at putting a funnel in place that you guys can come into Conversion Pros and start using that funnel to get a ton of people coming into your system. Let's see, comp plan, bulls and bears. Justin, let's talk about bulls and bears here for a second because I know this has been causing some confusion. Bulls and bears is a very common term in trading. Okay, it's just it's a market term, and Wask Minute as a play on words, and I like it, but at the same time I do see some of the confusion. Okay, a bear. I think everybody understands what bulls and bears is in a traditional market. What it means here. All right. A bear is simply a lazy investor. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's someone who wants to put their money in and sit back and wait for passive returns. Okay. A bull is someone who wants to charge ahead and build like you guys are doing here tonight. Okay. So that's what a bull is. So it's a play on words. You got your bear and you got your bulls. Take it away from your traditional terms in trading and just understand one is passive, one is active. You can actually merge the two of them, which will give you the opportunity. There's certain things within. Okay, so let's talk about a bear. Okay, a bear puts, let's say, $10,000 in, and then they sit back, waits for their return, and then they upgrade their package. You guys can actually withdraw anything in your balance daily in your balance. Okay, you can upgrade your package whenever you want to upgrade. So there's nothing you have to wait for. You don't have to wait to get all of your money out and then upgrade. If you want to come out of pocket today, you could do that, or you can wait till your returns build up enough that then you could use that as your upgrade. Okay, you can do that at any point. That is a bear. That's a bear. You can make 2x. So a $10,000 package, you could get $20,000 out of it minus, okay, your withdrawal fees. What does that mean? Okay, so if you put 10,000 in, you get 20,000 back. You got a 20% withdrawal fee, which is $4,000. So minus that from the 20,000. That leaves you $16,000. Let's say that took 2 months to do. That's $3,000 a month. Okay, being paid out to you in Bitcoin. Okay, understand? You bring money in through or you bring in Bitcoin. It goes into the Forex through a fiat currency, and then it pays back out to you guys through Bitcoin. Okay, in Bitcoin, out Bitcoin. that $16,000, if you go, yeah, just, you know what, I'm happy with that. I'll just take my $3,000 a month. That's okay. Re-up your $10,000 package again and just keep re-upping the $10,000 package. You got your $3,000 a month. You want to build that up, okay? You want to be an aggressive bear. You're still a bear. I'll tell you how you become a bull, but you're still a bear. So if you want to take that and you want to go into the $20,000 package, okay, now you can make $40,000 on it, okay? And then out of that $40,000, you take your 20% out of that and you get the difference. You rebuy in at 20, whatever. If you want to earn your way through, it's best that you become a bull and a bear. It's very, very easy to do. And don't look at this as a traditional networking company, a network marketing company. You know, if you have people out there that told you no to networking, network marketing multiple times, who cares? That's not what this is about. This is about helping people. This is, you know, we're not going out there to try and put them on some kind of auto ship and stuff. And guys, don't get me wrong. I love the network marketing industry. I've built several of my own network marketing companies. I love it. I think it's a great model, but a lot of people have this negative connotation.
Let's just say it. Nobody wants to pay an auto ship, and nobody wants to pay a monthly fee. Let's just say it. It's 2019 right now, and people are looking for ways to make money without monthly fees, and that's what we have.
There you go. Absolutely. So let's take that. Now you got your bear. That's your bear side. Okay. You can be a bear as long as you want. Just pull your profit, rebuy. Pull profit, rebuy. You can stay there as long as you want. If you're active and you want to refer some people in, now you have the opportunity to make, that's 4x.
400%.
Absolutely. So now let's look at those numbers. You put $10,000 in, you can get $40,000 out. You keep 80% of that. You have $32,000. You started with 10.
Right.
Okay. So what if that took you every 2 months? What if they don't turn it up and do that monthly? What if that's still every 2 months or even every 3 months?
Right.
You're still making incredible money. And then you upgrade your package.
Right.
Forex again, upgrade the package, so on and so forth. You can earn your way through to the $100,000 package. And the $100,000 package, guys, is ridiculous. Run your math on that one. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. $400,000 every couple months, minus your fees.
Right.
How many of those accounts do you guys want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be setting up your whole family with this stuff. You know, I'm putting my wife, my kids, everybody. They're all in. They're all getting accounts. So, but that's the difference. When you start referring is when you become a bull.
That's right.
And so hard charging forward, bull. Justin, I think that brings me. Yeah. And then we can talk about the comp plan more if you want, Justin, about the fact that we do have unique things in it. The 3x9, force matrix. It's a team force matrix.
So 3x9 or 3x10?
What's that?
3x9 or 3x10?
Oh, did I say 3x10 matrix?
3x10.
Yeah.
So guys, just so you know, because I know Paolo was asking, so it's a 3x10. It's a force company company matrix, and it's based off of the trade activity. So
yes.
But it's not a force company matrix. It's a force team matrix.
Right. And let me explain that to you, okay? Because that's really important to understand. We had this question recently. Is it a company force matrix? No. You don't want a company force matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because with a company force matrix, think about that. The company has 3 different legs. It has 3 more and 3 more and 3 more and 3. And so what happens if it's company force? Okay? That means your people could fall underneath someone else's team and you're not even taking advantage of it.
I know it's force team matrix.
A force team matrix. It's within your lineage. Okay. Does that go all the way up to the company? Yes. Is the company very high above you? No. Okay. But when it comes to getting spillover from anyone, I want you guys to understand this. Spillover, how do I say this without insulting anybody? It's not an insult. Okay. Spillover happens in your weak spots. If you're not a weak spot, don't expect any spillover right away. Okay? And you guys shouldn't be here for that spillover. You guys are the leaders. You guys are creating the foundation. You're the runners.
Right.
Okay? So later on, as you know, everybody's filled up their first 3, and right now we're still structuring leaders. I mean, that's really honestly what's going on right now. So you want to keep it within your lineage, and that will happen. People will get spillover. Some have gotten spillover, not real often right now because, like I say, everybody's kind of positioning and getting everything structured out, and we don't have a lot of weak spots on this team, So as you guys are running, basically what happens is it fills left to right. But let's say, let's put Justin right here at the top. Okay, so you got Justin, and then you got his 3 legs. Each one of those have 3 more. So you got your 3, your 9, and your 27. Okay, let's say he's on his line of 9 now. He's got his 3 in place, and now he's on his line of 9. That first one already has those first 3 spots filled. Okay, so his first one on the line of 9s already got their 3. They're not a weak spot. You come over to the second one, they're full. Come to the third one here, and they don't have anybody yet. Well, that's where the spillover is going to go.
Right.
Okay? And then you go on to the next one, to the next one. The system's looking left to right, fill it, left to right, fill it, left to right, fill it. When it's all filled, okay, once it gets down to the end, now you won't get, okay, you're not going to get, let's say you don't have any of your people, you're not going to get all of the next 3. You're going to get one of those next 3. Okay, 1 to you, moves on to the next person, gives 1 to them, next person gives 1 to them. Starts over on the line of 27 now. Okay, and it's going to look for the same thing again. Where are the weak spots? Where are the holes? And it's going to fill the holes. The ultimate of all of this is to make sure that everybody has a full matrix. Okay, so that's what's going on. That's the difference between a team force versus a company force matrix.
Okay.
Okay, Justin, go ahead, take it wherever you want to go now. If you want to go into Q&A or whatever, we've covered a lot here.
We have. Who's got some questions?
I have some questions.
Get out.
I had a lot about compliance, not compliance, about transparency, but I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt for Huascar, because he says wait and see for the accreditation and the licensing of the SPs and for the
Jeffrey, I'm going to mute you, buddy. We're getting a little background noise, okay?
yes, and for the the web TV demonstration and the event next week. So I'm going to wait with that.
Okay.
Someone brought it to my attention and that they put in some Bitcoin, and a couple of days later, that Bitcoin was still sitting in the company's original wallet. So the question was, well, if it's still sitting in a wallet, how are we earning on it if it's not going to the, how long does it take for the transfer from Bitcoin to fiat? And I know you guys said 3 days, but that's for the process. But when does the money, the Bitcoin, come out of the bucket, out of the company's bucket, and go away? You follow what I'm saying? Because if we're still keeping it on the blockchain, then people get concerned that we're just recycling money.
No, that's not at all what's happening. What's happening is it's got more to do with with the programming right now. Okay, so I brought up the whole thing about the link. All right, we had one of those situations earlier today. Well, no, it wasn't the link. We did have that, but we fixed that. The links are down now. It was actually the, we had 2 people do this one. Okay, so they had not set up their wallet properly yet. Okay, and so I'm talking about, Faith, I'll come back to your specific question. I'm kind of thinking through a couple of things here, but I will come back to it. So what happened earlier, because this is something that'll come up too, but it's been fixed, is some people were requesting withdrawals from their balance before they linked up the Bitcoin wallet they wanted it withdrawn to. Okay, so basically it went into a credit wallet pending status, and it had sat there for a few days, and finally they got a hold of us and said, hey, I haven't got my withdrawal. And when we went in and looked and said, well, we see that your wallet is now linked, but it wasn't. See, we screenshot everything. All right, everything. We have every single click that you guys have ever made in the website. We know. We keep all of those records. We have to.
Yeah, so I understand that. I think that's just education. We just have to tell people to make sure you set up your profile. But let's go back to my question.
Yes, I'm just going to tell you, we're not going to allow people to request a withdrawal. It'll actually tell them that they can't even withdraw. Okay, so we're working on that in the next 24 to 48 hours. Now, your question being, what happens to that money? Huascar had, because I don't have access to go and confirm the monies that are sitting in the blockchain, okay? But what he's saying is that what he has found multiple times is that if you're using a service that takes a commission, a lot of times what's happening is that commission is throwing it off by $1 or something. So what he's had people do is just send in that extra $1, and boom, they get credit and go right into the matrix. So if you have somebody that
But that wasn't my question either. Let me start over.
Okay.
My question is, let's say everything's working perfectly, and I purchase a package for, let's say, $10,000 or what have you, $300. It's coming from my wallet, and it's going to the company's wallet, correct?
Okay, yeah.
And so it goes to the company wallet. If I come back 2 days later, and I'm looking at the company's wallet, and I still see what I've given them there, my question is, it appears that, wow, they're not taking the money out of the company's wallet. So how are they paying us? Are they really trading? You know, this is the question that's coming. And they want a little more transparency, or they want to be sure. You know how people are. They don't want to get into Ponzi. They want to make sure that you're taking all of our Bitcoin and that is being traded. Okay?
Absolutely, yeah. So what's happening there is that's in the transition. It takes 72 hours to get the money into trade. Okay. So if it's longer than 72 hours, then let us know, because there's probably something, that's what I'm saying. There might be a bug or something in that particular situation that could be causing that delay. If my system's not getting the signal, then it's not going to finish the activation of that account. It's not going to put that money in.
No, the account is activated. There's nothing wrong with the account. So the account is activated. I want to know, when does the company, when does the company go into the bucket, put out all of our Bitcoin, pool that baby together, and say, we're now going to trade. We're not going to trade it. So the Bitcoin should not be in the company's bucket at that time.
I understand.
It should be gone. Okay.
I understand. That's 72 hours. Is typically
72 hours.
Yeah, it takes 72 hours to get that back out to trade. Okay.
Okay, great. Super. So that at least I'm able to answer that question.
And the reason, Faith, that I'm bringing up the bugs and things like that is because Cash FX works off of our back office. They work off of our system. So if it's not triggering, if there's something, that's why I'm saying, if you have anybody in that situation for longer than 72 hours, let us know, because Cash FX, unless they're constantly looking at that wallet, won't even realize, and out of all the transactions in the wallet, they may not even realize it's been sitting there. Let us know. We'll go in and troubleshoot that one particular one. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I had someone who put in some money and they were $2 short because of your third-party API. So they're I said, just put in $3. I said, don't put in $2. Put in $3, because you put in $2, you're going to be short 10 cents, and you have to do it again. So they put in $3, and then actually it worked with no intervention from support.
I know. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I had 3 people do the same thing. In fact, they went in to pay, and it actually told them what they were short.
Yes.
It's because our software, it doesn't think like a human. It's just, it is. It just is, you know. And so if it's not this amount, then it's not enough. Yeah. It could be off by a few pennies. It's just not enough. It's not gonna trigger. So you have another question, Faith?
Yes, I do. There's another question. You know how, you know, we're all, especially people on this call, we're coming from Cloud Token, we're on this transparency bandwagon. And you know, we're getting a lot of questions about Huascar. They're saying, who is this guy? You know, I said, well, I joined because I know Ron Pope. I've been knowing him over 10 years. I know this guy's credible. He's ethical. And they said, well, who is this other guy, though? And I said, well, I know that he was in the deal. You know, my fun life, we were all in there. I know Justin was in there. I didn't even know Justin there. And everything was credible. We were just fine and dandy. But they can't find anything on him. They're like, who is this guy? He's invisible. Where'd he come from?
Listen,
how can I trust him?
Invisible is better than having skeletons in the closet and a bunch of negative marks coming up. It really is.
Absolutely.
It really
Absolutely.
is.
But people do ask that question. People ask that question. Who is this guy? He just came out of the blue. You know, we see something on him in 2006. He was doing MLM.
Yeah. Now, let me touch on that, though, because while we were doing MLM together, while we were doing My Fun Life, okay, Huascar lives in Santo Domingo, okay, Dominican Republic. And even when we were doing the MLM together, through his attorneys and his contacts, Billy Burrow used to be the voice for New York Giants and stuff. That's another one of his friends. They run in certain circles out there in Dominican Republic. He was able to line us up a meeting with the Minister of Health, Minister of Media, Minister of Tourism, okay, which is what led into, excuse me, Wendy Sanchez flying out to Vegas to meet with my wife and I on the medical tourism. That's what that whole trip out there was. So even you won't find that anywhere on Huascar, but that's who he is. Okay. Yeah. Now I will tell you that Justin, this video is not going to be released to open public, correct? This is all just.
Well, I mean, what's going to be, yeah.
We're just editing.
I would be careful what you say on the video, man.
Okay. All right. Let's put it this way. If you guys want to go to Dominican Republic and meet Huascar, okay, we can make that happen. All right. So such as there was a question about the documentation of the corporation. He
Yes.
doesn't want to release that to the public yet, but if you want to go to Panama City or you want to go to the Dominican Republic,
Right.
we'll line it up for you. Okay.
Okay. I would love to, because I think it's important, because I don't want to wait until I've built a team.
Yeah.
And people say, well, okay, that fell through. You know, we couldn't get the confirmation of the registration or anything. I don't want to stop either.
No.
You know, I don't want to
Yeah,
stop.
I mean, if you want to fly to Panama, you can fly to Panama. We also have to understand that Cloud Token was no different. Cloud Token
Yes.
did not release that documentation until May 12th. We had
Yes.
people been building for 6 months. So
You have been
I
building
wouldn't
for
mind flying to Panama City. So let me know when you're going.
Yes,
Yeah,
I would love to. I think I'm finished. Oh, one of the things that struck out with me was on that first call, the 2-hour call we had, Waskar said 5% of the industry doesn't succeed in Forex. He says, no, 95% doesn't succeed, only 5% succeed. So I was kind of floored by that statement. So my question is, why is Cash FX Group so special? Why is it going to be in that top 5% echelon of success in Forex trading?
In success of the Forex trading, it's because of their track record that they've already traded, not just paper traded, but the actual track record. He's shown some of the trades on his phone. You guys can actually, next week, you'll be able to see that. But it all comes down to algorithm, okay?
Yeah.
And so if you get your algorithm right, you can then start to A/B test that and perfect even further on the algorithm to the point where I can only go so deep on that one. I mean, I wish Waskar was here to answer that one because I don't know what I should and shouldn't say about it. But there is, like I said earlier in the call, it's nowhere close to its potential. Okay, nowhere close, because they've turned it way down for to retain the capital of us. The investors.
The technology. It comes down to the technology that they have access to.
Absolutely.
Proprietary algorithms. And like he said, a group of 4 traders now that basically work in tandem together to come up with one strategy.
Yeah.
So,
and
I traded Forex for a year. I mean, I traded Forex for a year solid, and I could relate to what he was saying. I mean, even if I knew what way the pair was going, as soon as you open up the trade, it's red.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you start every trade in red. You know, if they've come up with a solution to actually be able to hold trades in the blue, you know, that's a big deal. And like Ron said, an algorithm that anticipates, I put that in the chat kind of as a teaser the other day, but to have an algorithm that anticipates which way the market's going to go, I mean, you know, so it comes down to, guys, we're at the beginning of this thing. So, you know, we're waiting to see some more of the transparency. That's natural. We're waiting to see, you know, the full capability of the technology. You know, we're waiting to see some of the documentation. Those are all of the things that we know and we understand at this point are coming. And so like I told people in April in Cloud Token, you can start building now and you can take advantage of a 30-cent token, or you can come back in August. And it's kind of the same situation. Like, we have this opportunity to start building right now, playing off of the credibility of certain people, or, you know, come back in October.
Well, I'm a capitalist.
I know you're.
Hey, this is Bob Ullman. Can I get a question
Sure, Bob.
in here for you? I'm still trying to understand exactly the bull and bear thing. Here's let me give an example. I've got $1,000 in, which puts about approximately, I think somewhere around $700.
700 goes into your trade account.
Trading. Okay, put 700 in the trading. That's operating on the bear assumption or the 2 times.
Right.
I'm also building a group and getting commissions. I'm assuming, based on what I know about these type of comp plans, that everything that my trading revenues as well as my commission revenues are being pooled to be doing that doubling or the quadrupling
together.
Yes.
So that's, I guess that's where it for me. So I just want to know. So I know that if I'm building a group, as I'm building, that little chart that shows me the percentage
Yep.
of that I've done of my package. That's going to go. I'm going to spin 4 times
That's right.
instead of the 2 times. If I'm just building, I mean, I can say building is I'm just putting. I'm adding people in. If
Yes.
I'm not adding people in, it's going to get 2 times, and that's going to get on the whole. That's going to be on. It's all going to be combined
On the 1,000, and it's on the 1,000, not just the 700.
It's not on the 700. It's on the 1,000. Okay.
Yep.
And I guess part of what confused me on that is I'm looking at my chart. I know that I'm building. I've seen commissions pop in from my directs, and yet I'm still seeing that let's say that I'm 30% through. I guess I'll have to do the math better. Maybe I'm just doing the math wrong, but it should if I'm showing 30% on that, it doesn't seem like that it's counting me as 4 times yet. It's still thinking of me as 2.
Well, have you received a unilevel payout yet?
No, no, I have not.
Well, when you see that unilevel payout, it'll be a big difference for you.
That's when it's going to kick. It's going to change those.
You'll see the unilevel, like Faith was talking about that earlier. Once
Right.
you actually see the commissions coming through in both the bear and the bull side, it kind of clicks.
Okay.
And one of the things Ron kind of opened up, kind of enlightened me on, we had a call earlier, was that once that gets 100%, it'll go around. So it could go around 4 times. So if I'm sitting at the 10K package, it'll get to 100%. If I don't touch it and I keep building, it's going to go 200%, 300%. It's going to continue until you hit that 400%, which is 40K on a 10K package.
That's what the confusing part was for me, and that I appreciate that you're clearing that up. I think it should be made clearer in the in our documentation and everything, because it'll probably confuse some others as well.
And Bob, that's a lot of what we're working on from the programming side. Again, we had to get the company up. Now we're going back and fine tuning everything, putting in all the little disclosures and stuff like that pop up, and there's some of those charts on your dashboard that are still being worked on to properly connect them. We're doing the matrix right now, and then that'll connect to some stuff. So there's still some missing pieces. So those things, we even talked about not even putting them up to begin with. And Waskar says, no, I'd rather have them displayed anyway. So we went ahead, we're displaying them. They're not all 100% accurate quite yet. Okay.
Well,
that's still feeding into it.
Yeah, that's good. I appreciate that. Now I'm going to assume that when I choose to upgrade, which I'll be doing, that I'm not paying a withdrawal fee coming out. There's no withdrawal fee coming out when I'm using the money to upgrade on the upgrades. In other words, I'm using the money that I'm earning to upgrade.
He doesn't pay a fee, right?
Instead of taking it out, I'm going to get. There's not going to be
full
the
credit.
No, anytime. Okay, so it's a full cycle. So if you're using the monies that's being generated within, okay, then there is a withdrawal fee on that, because it's a withdrawal fee that turns around and feeds back into the matrix. Okay, so let me give you guys a big picture here. Let's say you've got 100 people on your team, okay, and each one of them has, say, a $5,000 package. All right, so you got $500,000 right there, and 20% of that goes in fees. So there's $100,000. And out of that, half of that's feeding into the matrix. You have $50,000. Well, if they're withdrawing monthly or every other month, that's $50,000 going back into the matrix right there, in which you're receiving your percentage on that's on the chart, the 1 through 10. Okay, depending on the level. So yes, anytime that you withdraw or anytime that you use any funds from that balance, there is a withdrawal fee with that. If you come in with new monies, then no. But if you're using capital that's right there, that's part of the system. You withdraw, it feeds the system. Okay, does that make sense? So it's a perpetual cycle.
Okay, interesting the way that works. So that's I guess I can understand why that would be, given we have the matrix and everything there. But that would be a tremendous incentive also to people to upgrade as opposed to withdraw. But if that wasn't the case. But then maybe they can work on something approaching that with maybe a 10% fee at some point instead of a 20, if the person upgrades, because it's nice to give the incentive to upgrade like that. You know, but I mean, obviously we have the incentive anyway in the additional profits, but it would be just something I'll throw out there.
In order to, and I understand where you're coming from, Bob, but in order to do that, and again, I'm not Cash FX corporate or anything. This is just me talking as one leader to another here. In order to do that, though, you would literally be reducing down the potential of your compensation plan as well.
Right. Because part of
so
it
it's
is
a give and take. I mean, you're gonna lose it somewhere. I think personally, the incentive for people upgrading is making money. You know, I mean, the fact that they have their trading and stuff, and they go to the next level.
There's still an incentive, but that should be made clear, I guess, also, because I didn't get that, and it looked like Justin didn't understand that exactly as well.
Clarify that as well. So basically, if I've got the 10K package and I get to 10K in commissions, I can't necessarily upgrade to the 20K package because I'm losing 20% in fees. Is that right? So
yeah, you would need to get up to 12,000.
Okay. So
yeah, and then go ahead and do it. Yeah. So just let it ride a little bit longer.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay.
That's a natural cycle.
I have one more question. On the first call, we discussed the withdrawal. If somebody for legality reasons or compliance reasons, we discussed if somebody wants to withdraw their the trading money early. Did we come up with a fee yet for the cost of doing that? Has that been decided yet?
I don't think so.
I don't. Okay, it's what I know right now is between 25 to 30% penalty.
Okay, just so I have an idea.
Yeah, I don't know if he's. I would assume he's locked in, and I'm waiting for the new terms, to be added or sent over so we can add them. But yes, it has been determined. It has been decided between the partners that they, obviously will give access to that capital at a penalty, and it's between 25 to 30%.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks, Ron. Thanks for all you're doing. I appreciate your system. I've been in it using your system even with Cloud Token, and I like the way you've designed the whole system there. Conversion.
Thank you very much.
Love it. And I've used a lot of systems over the years. I think it's a first-class system. Thank you.
Thank you. And Bob, not to plug TCP here, but I do appreciate that. We're actually going to be rolling something out here in the next few days on TCP you're going to love too, is custom domains. So you'll be able to actually get your own domain and assign it, because we don't allow masking. It kind of messes things up, but you'll be able to use your own custom domains here real soon through TCP.
Sweet.
Very cool. Very cool.
Who's got a question? Anybody else?
Hey, good night. Oh, two.
Who's that, Leon?
Yes, Leon.
What's up, sir?
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing good, brother. What you got, man?
So I'm new to this trading altogether. I was told by the guy that put me underneath him. He told me to come in, and I came in under $1,000 package, and I signed up. But my account. Let's go back to the first question that Ron addressed when he said that if you put in, let's say 1,000, but on your Coinbase, which I have a Coinbase, the fee takes out the fee and it doesn't send over the full 1,000, and it sends over, say, 979.
Right.
And in order for me to see it on my account in Cash Forex, I'm not seeing it there, but the account is because of, I'm guessing it's not the full 1,000.
Right. So it hasn't registered.
Yeah.
So it hasn't registered yet, but do I need to put in the additional for it to register?
Yeah.
But how do my question is then? So how do I go about that? Because
Ron, from what I understand, Leon, and this happened to another guy, you can send the balance to the same wallet. So if you go into your Coinbase and you find that wallet, go to the hash.
Same address?
Yep, same exact wallet. Send $10. It should automatically find it, and it kicked right in for the other person and automatically gave them the email confirmation.
Okay, so I guess on that note, then when I do that, because my account is not even active as of yet, so I can't see the back office because of that, or is that waiting for confirmation from?
It's waiting for the confirmation to be able to give you access to the back office, but you should be able to go on Coinbase and look at your outgoing transactions.
Transaction and Okay.
But Leon, you did already get the email and you already clicked on the confirmation link, correct?
Yes, I clicked on the confirmation link and it's confirmed. It says confirmed on my page in the Cash Forex.
Okay.
But I guess when I go in, it keeps asking me to pick my package. My package. So the first time I did
it's because you're short. It hasn't triggered the system yet to move to the next step. So it's still waiting for you to put the rest of the money in, is what it is.
Understood. And my last question, because I did trade with a different company before this, and they were doing weekly payouts.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm understanding here is that it's not weekly, but it's based off of if it's because I was reading up and I was getting some knowledge. If is it weekly payouts to?
It's it is. It's weekly for the trade profits. Ron, you want to explain the schedule real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's different payouts based on the type that it is. Okay, so you've got your trade payouts, you've got your unilevel or fast start, unilevel, and matrix. Okay, and I'm actually looking for the schedule on that.
Leon, are you in our Facebook group yet, Leon?
No, I'm not. I'm not in the Facebook group as yet.
Who's your sponsor, Leon?
John Wilson.
Okay.
So
I don't know if John is in there either, but I'm right now, Leon. Are you from Brooklyn?
Yes, I'm from Brooklyn.
All right, I think I see you here. Your cover photo is 4 gentlemen.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and send you a friend request.
Thank you. Okay.
And then what I'll do is I'll add you to the Facebook group.
Uh-huh.
And then we have in the file section, I have a Q&A.
Copy.
Or sorry, not a Q&A, an FAQ, frequently asked questions.
And go ahead.
That there's a couple of questions in there answered around the payout schedule. For instance, what is available, like how often can you withdraw your profits from the trading? How often can you withdraw your fast start? And then also the schedule. So right now, I'll just go ahead and handle that on the call here. They're pushing Bitcoin twice a day. It's 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. And so if you trigger a withdrawal, if you've got available funds and you trigger a withdrawal at 8 a.m., at 11 a.m., it'll be pushed. If you trigger that withdrawal anytime after 11 at 7 p.m., it'll get pushed to your wallet. Again, make sure that you go in your back office and you set up your BTC wallet. But I just sent you a friend request and I'll tag you to the FAQ.
Yeah, it has to be in your balance. So when you're underneath your financial, you go down to your balance. As long as whatever money is in there is the money you can withdraw, and then they pay that out twice a day, like Justin just said. Your trading commission, we run the trading commission Monday through Friday at midnight, and then the actual push out of those funds is Saturday at noon Eastern. Okay, fast start is full real time, so you'll see that dropping right into your balance. And then the unilevel commission is Saturday through Friday at midnight, and then it's credited Saturday at 12 noon Eastern. Okay, and then I believe it's this Saturday we're running the first matrix.
Okay.
I'll have to, but
the last question to that.
Let me confirm that. I do believe it's this Saturday.
No, it's on the recording. Better be Saturday.
No.
Last question, Leon. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, I'm putting 3 people under me. Do I have to give them my referral, or do I give them to John?
No, you give them your referral link, my friend.
But not until you've paid and you're activated.
Yeah, don't give it until we get this situated. But yeah, you'll give them your referral link, correct?
Yes.
Yep. So I sent you a friend request on Facebook. Okay, good. I'll get you in the group. And then message me directly if you have any issues with sending that balance Bitcoin over. If you send it, we'll make sure that we can get your account activated ASAP.
And
thank you so much, sir.
And Leon, I want to touch on that real quick for you. The right now you're a bear. Okay, that's a perfect example of everybody. Right now you're a bear, but as soon as you refer those 3 people and they upgrade, you become a bull.
Yeah.
You're bull stack.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Won that bull.
So use your
you guys.
Yeah. Or I think Faith is saying you can use hers, one of the two. So
Leon, you're in the group now, buddy. You should get a notification. I do also want to just cover something because a few people have asked this, and I know Javier is waiting for this answer. So I just asked Waskar about my FX book. Everybody wants to know. His answer is this: yes, we're going to do it when we're ready to. So they're going to post those trades to my FX book, which is going to be another level of transparency when they're ready. So we just have to be patient.
Hey, Justin.
He said, meanwhile, we're gonna host a couple live trade events. He says, guys, wait for it. It's gonna be very powerful to see what they're doing behind the scenes, guys. Very powerful. Hey, how you doing there, Pam?
Hi.
I almost called you Steve Presley, but then I realized nope.
That's okay.
There he is. I see you I see you lurking in the background.
I'm
Yeah,
here.
he's always lurking. Just
What's up,
Hey,
Pam?
because Steve, well, before the referral link got fixed, I snuck in and got under Steve.
Right?
And then went to fund this morning about 9:30 a.m. And, you know, I guess one of the hiccups that maybe need to be fixed on there is it says to send this amount exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Steve did, but it didn't fund. So I think it was like, you know, the other guy, it was a little short.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me handle this real quick, Ron. Where did you send the Bitcoin from?
Ron or Steve?
Steve, where did you send the Bitcoin from?
Abra.
Where?
From Abra.
Okay, so here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with Coinbase. Here's the problem with Binance. They send it in batches. So even though you triggered that withdrawal from your Abra, it did not get sent right away. It might have got sent 15 minutes or 20 minutes later, in which case Bitcoin probably came down or it went up, and at the time it was sent, it was not enough. Exchanges like those do not send Bitcoin immediately. They send them in batches to save on the fees. So Coinbase, when you trigger withdrawals with Coinbase, every 15 minutes they batch a bunch of them together. So at that time, if Bitcoin, let me think now, if Bitcoin went down while it was waiting and then your money got sent, it wasn't enough money.
Yes, but he did send like $4.50 more. It's still not funding. And I guess the question is, when Steve went in to do another deposit, it gave him a different wallet number. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's probably for security that it's rotating through the wallets. It would be silly if they just had one wallet and everybody was putting money in it. That's kind of a security thing that I think they're using on, what's it called? Live. What's the name of the plugin?
Live play?
Yeah.
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 Live play.
So it's a security feature. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to go into your Coinbase, and I want you to find me, or not Coinbase, Abra, and I want you to get me the original hash ID. So the transaction ID of your first Bitcoin that you sent, and send me your username, and I'm going to send it over, and we'll see if we can have the guys look in the back end and see what the hang up is.
Okay.
Okay.
So then obviously I can't fund until.
No, you want to wait because unless he doesn't want to get paid for your sign up, go for it.
I highly.
There you go. Yeah. So send that to me. Is that okay, Ron? And then I'll shoot it over to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Username and the hash ID.
Justin, put it when you get it. Put it in the room that you have with Waskar and I.
Of course.
He'll have to be the one to verify the funds.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll send it over, and they'll take a look at it on the ownership side. So Leon, same thing for you, Leon. If for some reason you send that balance and it doesn't register, send me your username and the hash ID.
Understood.
So
Okay.
just to be clear, when it says on the website to send this amount exactly, it is accounting for fees.
It should be calculating the fees, yeah.
Well, it depends on where you're sending
what
it
I
from.
wanted.
Right.
Yeah. If you know your service is going to tack on, fees for doing that, then increase it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what our system is looking for
Like
is,
for instance, somebody just mentioned GDAX, which is, they now call it Coinbase Pro. GDAX has almost zero fees, and GDAX sends it immediately. So like I had no problem. I sent that Bitcoin. I got the check mark immediately that the 2 confirmations hit. So you get a check mark at 2 confirmations. And then once the 6 confirmations are reached, that's when you get the email that everything's complete. And all of that happened for me within I want to say less than 2 minutes. I was in and into the back office. So again, just people need to be aware that, you know, Coinbase does charge, the Coinbase side of it charges some exorbitant fees. So people just need to be aware of that and tack that on when they, like Ron said, when you.
Well, maybe they should mention that on the website is to account then for
Yep.
fees.
I already told them that we want to put on there to put a note about fees, and also put a note, Ron, that says we suggest that you don't send it from an exchange.
Right.
You know, there should be just a little reminder here.
And Justin, did you say you used what exchange?
I use it used to be called GDAX, GDAX, and it's a real simple exchange. It's not really an exchange, but because they send it out immediately. But it's called Coinbase Pro now, so it's a different version of Coinbase, and there's almost zero fees. Like, they charge me almost nothing to sell my Ethereum and send the money to my bank, and it's in my bank account. If I do it Monday through Thursday, if I did it right now, it would be in my account by tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, cool.
Coinbase Pro.
Wouldn't it be easier if they just charged an extra $5 or an extra $10 to cover all fees? And that would be just that would take care of the whole thing?
Well, again, Steve, the software doesn't think like that. So what's going to happen is if we increase it to $1,005 and you come in at $1 or $1,004.50, you're still not hitting the $1,005. So you just got to add the fees in for your exchange. But we will add the notices. I got to run this by Waskar, get the verbiage he wants to use, and we'll get it on the website. Perfect.
Cool. Thank you.
Uh-huh. If anybody's having any issues getting welcome emails, or you've sent it, people have joined and they haven't got the welcome emails, we set up all brand new email servers for Cash FX Group. So they're being seasoned. Okay. We have really good, like 96 is our score for email send scores right now for Cash FX. That's good scores. But when you're first originally seasoning a email server, some different systems don't like to accept those emails, so they'll stay in the junk folder, the spam folder. If you have anybody saying they haven't got them yet, I have personally gone in and checked probably 20 or 30 different people that have said they hadn't got it, and found it every single time. So the emails are going out. It's typically in the junk folder. But if it's not there, it's very simple. Go back to the registration page, put in your same username and your same email, and it'll send it'll resend you that email. Yeah. Justin, I think you've been suggesting they set up Gmail.
Gmail. I mean, Waskar said Yahoo. I signed my mom up, and it went into the spam folder for Yahoo.
Yep.
But the 3 or 4 people that told me there's no way they checked everywhere. We got on a Zoom session, and it was in their spam.
Myself and my family, we use all Yahoo and Gmail, and when I set up our accounts, it was instant. I had the emails every time. So, but I will say that I think it was Yahoo stuck it in the spam folder, but I knew to look there. Gmail went in the inbox. So, yeah, just make sure your people are checking the spam folder if they come back to you with that.
Anybody else got any questions? I know y'all gonna hit me with about 5 as soon as this webinar ends. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody coming on. I'll get this in the group for those of you that missed. Exciting times, guys. Let's keep plugging away. Ron mentioned Huascar's coming to the States. I think he's going to be in Florida, and so I'm hoping Ron can maybe get some time away, and we can set something up and maybe do one of these live streams from one of the resorts in Florida. That would be cool.
And we were just standing, my wife and I were just standing out by our pool today talking over lunch, and she said, it's really humid here today. And I was like, man, the humidity is really up. And she goes, you know where I'd love to go? I'd love to go to Florida. I kid you not. And then it was right after that I was talking to Waskar. He's like, hey, I'm leaving in the morning for Florida.
Yep.
So
he's probably going to be in Orlando, and we're going to have a resort in Orlando. We'll be at a resort, I think, maybe 10 days from now. So it could work out perfectly.
There you go. Save me the couch, bro. I'll be over.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate everybody for taking out 2 hours of your schedule. For all of those of you that are going to watch the replay, if you make it this far, thanks for watching the whole replay. We look forward to building with you guys and continued support. If you need anything, just let us know. Thanks a lot, Ron. And again, tell Waskar thanks for in the midst of all of the stuff going on in his life, for coming on and saying hi to the team.
You got it, bud.
See you guys.
All right.